Hey guys, Rilhon here and welcome to the tour video of the HMHS Britannic. It came out a little bit late, so I'm sorry for that, but here it is, so I hope you enjoy it. This one is going to be a little bit different because of course we didn't really fully know how Britannic looked inside when she served as a hospital ship, so this is just kind of my interpretation and I did my best, so I hope you'll enjoy it. Again, we're gonna go from the boat deck down to all the way to the bottom. I don't think we'll go through it quite as thoroughly this time as the other ships I've done so far. We'll just go through it generally. You can just see this as an extension of the RMS Britannic tour video that I did last week. So yeah, let's start here on the boat deck. You of course see here that Britannic only had a total of 5 gantry davits, while she was intended to carry 8. There would have been another one here, and an additional 2 sets back here on the stern. But they didn't have time to install them, so she just have 5. And they installed some of these regular Weldon type davits midships to balance this out and make room for some more lifeboats. So yeah. Let's go back here to the bridge. This is much the same as how it was intended, so I won't really go through this. This is the officers' quarters. Here you have the captain's room and officers and their smoke room and some other minor crew areas. And if we head through here, we get to the former grand staircase. It's still pretty grand, all things considered, but they just they either removed much of the decor or they never installed it in the first place. It's kinda unclear exactly how far along they got in the outfitting process, but yeah, this is how it looked roughly. And up here is the former children's playroom, and here is the gymnasium. And these are just used for storage space, basically. They would have crammed every single space in the ship that was empty for storage of various things. Here's the elevators. These two, or at least 2 of the elevators, were combined to create one large elevator, so you could put in patients to make that much easier to move them between decks. Here are some cabins for medical personnel. Some cabins here as well. And then further aft we get to some wards. Here is one ward. It's not exactly stated exactly what space was used for what again, but yeah, much of the public rooms would have probably been used for medical wards or hospital wards, and the top decks would have been used for the more severely wounded people, while the lower ones, where the patients could actually move around a bit, those would have been used for them, basically. I should also mention here real quick these enclosed promenades. These were also used for wards. And on both sides, yeah, you can see here. Also on B deck, the deck below, they did the same here on this enclosed promenade, both sides. Let's head back in here to the lounge again, former first class lounge. Here's the midships elevator used to ferry passengers between decks as well. Here's the aft grand staircase, not so grand anymore, out of bounds for patients, so patients weren't really allowed up here, except if they were in here, of course, but they weren't really allowed to move around that much. Further aft, yeah, this is another ward in this former first class smoking room. In here is the X-ray room. There would have x-rayed patients to look for broken bones and such. This was also very separated from the rest so as to not cause radiation to people. We have the company office in here for the crew, mainly the Royal Army Medical Corps, I think. And then outside, you can see here. Let's head back to the bow. You can see these green lamps fitted on the sides. These were used to make the ship very easily spotted at night, because the idea with hospital ships were that they were supposed to be neutral in conflicts, so you really wanted to make sure that people saw the hospital ship markings on it and yeah, not be attacked basically. Here's some more cabins in this area, and here is the grand staircase. In here are some former first class suites. They have also been converted to cabins for the crew, and yeah, it's not very interesting anymore. Let's head all the way aft. Grand staircase again. We have some more wards in the restaurant reception room and the restaurant itself in here. Oh, sorry, let's head to the stern. Former second class areas. This was mainly for the RAMC officers again. This was their smoke room. This is the former second class smoke room. Yeah, this is basically their promenade. This is where they lived. Here in the former third class area in the stern, here is another ward. There's also a morgue in here for dead people, where you would store them basically, which is kind of necessary, unfortunately, with hospital ships. You tend to end up with dead people. And yeah, let's move on to sea deck here. This is pretty much the same. This was for the crew that would have otherwise served on the ship as well. So you have the firemen, the greasers, that kind of thing, wash places and mess halls and all that kind of stuff. So I'll skip through that now. You've already seen it in the HMHS Britannic tour video. Yeah, the well deck here, the forecastle deck up there. Through here are some more cabins for the crew, mainly for medical personnel. And back at the grand staircase, here are the suites on sea deck, also converted to cabins. And here's the aft grand staircase, more cabins. Through here is the former second class enclosed promenade. So this would also been used by the RAMC officers. You can see the staircase here again. Here's the mess hall for the RAMC officers. That's quite a mouthful to say that. But yeah, this is where they ate. And yeah, here's the aft staircase again. Here's the former second class gymnasium, just used for storage now. And the sheltered third class promenade is here. Here's the isolation ward. So through here and in here is where they store the infectious patients to isolate them from the rest of the ship. It was quite a bit enlarged. This space was exactly how it was on the Britannic, but then I took the creative liberty of expanding this because there would have been far more people on the ship, so it makes sense that they would have expanded it far more, to me at least. And yeah, that's C deck. Let's move on to D deck, which houses the largest ward on the ship. So we have the bow here, the crew quarters, the fireman was in here. For this wall here we get a very large store. This was originally meant for third class passengers, third class cabins in here, and this was pretty much the same. This was a large deck store. On Olympic and Titanic, this was actually the open space for third class, with kind of like a lounge. But that was not a thing on Britannic. They removed it in favor of a large deck store, and that would have been the case here as well. Oh, sorry, let's continue on with the deck here. We get even more cabins, and this large ward. This was the former first class reception room, and in here the first class dining room. This is a pretty massive room, and there's a lot of patients. I think it's over like more than 400 beds in here. In here is the former first class pantry and galley, so it would have still been used for cooking food, but they would probably not have used all of it. So probably a lot of storage space as well. Bakery, confectionery was in here before, and then in here is the second class pantry, not used for that purpose anymore. Here is the patient's dining hall, so this is where they ate. This is the former second class dining room, of course. Here is the aft second class staircase again. No, sorry, yeah, it's aft. Never mind. Some more cabins in here for the crew. Here is third class the third class main staircase. There's some lavatories here for the RAMC officers. And yeah, that's the E-deck. Let's move forward to E-deck. E-deck was kind of similar, but kind of not. So yeah, here's E-deck. Some fireman's quarters in the bow. Further aft, they have this space here, the E-deck entrance. It's very similar. But then through this door here, we get to another huge ward on the ship. This was a ton of cabins before, but they either ripped them out or never installed them. And this was used as a massive ward for patients. It continues here all the way. We have the grand staircase here. All the way over here is the ward. Goes to here is the aft elevator. And here's some more cabins for the crew. Here's the second class staircase again. Aft staircase. Yeah, so a ton of cabins here basically. And then through here is some former third class areas through entrance. Some former cabins here. This is opened up a bit. And then going all the way forward, we have some crew areas, engineers mess. The engineers quarters is here. And then we have the former like stokers, not stokers, but yeah, the dining room crew and stewards and such would have been here in Scotland Road, but that is not the case anymore, obviously. Here's the staircase again. Let's go forward down to F deck. Yeah, no, sorry. Here's F deck. Some more fireman's quarters here. Through this space here, we get to an open berth space. Would be used as a ward as well. And the same in here. And in here. This was a barrack room. Used for the soldiers, I assume. Or for other crew members. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah. This was third class cabins mostly, and they were again either removed or never installed in order to make space for these open dormitories. Through here is the linen drying complex. Would have stored that. Here is the swimming bath. Very plain, but it was mentioned that it was still in place and was used by the crew for recreational swimming if they wanted to. Through here is also the Turkish baths. There's also kind of in place for the crew to use if they wanted. This was actually explored on the wreck, so we know that this was installed. Here is the grand staircase again, or it leads down to F deck. You can see here. And there's some more open space, some open berths, and even more here. It just keeps going. It's just a lot of beds. They crammed beds and store space and all that kind of stuff inside in every single corner that they could. This is the former third-class dining saloon. And here is their pantry. This would not have been used, or at least it wouldn't have been used on my build. So I can has it like sectioned off here. Some more beds in here. Even more beds. It's just so much beds, so many beds. This keeps going. Beds and cabins. Yeah, here's the engines. I kept flying around them, but yeah, we're gonna get to that in a bit. You've already seen them if you watched the HMHS Britannic tutorial or tour. Here's the staircase, second class again. And the aft one. And some more cabins. And here is, I think this is a barrack room for military personnel, and that's the case down here as well, on G deck. And even more, this is a ward, I think. Yes, R ward. And another one in here. Now we're on G deck, by the way, so you're not too confused. You can explore this yourself, of course. You can download the map. Here is some food stores. They would have been cut down a bit in size. They wouldn't have like had any oysters and clams and fancy food like that on board. They would have simple stuff. They would have stored them and perhaps not installed everything. This was for the restaurant, so they wouldn't have had anything in here, probably. They still had a flour store if they wanted to bake bread. Would have been very important. Yeah, there's the turbine engine room. It's going to fly through here. And here's the boiler rooms. I think that's actually it for what makes Britannic unique to, or what makes HMHS Britannic unique to her RMS Britannic appearance, because they were, in these areas, they were the same. The holds, the boiler rooms, the engine rooms. Let's just fly through this real quick here. We have the uptakes here. Go through here, we have the number 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1 boiler room. And here's the reciprocating engine room. Lots of machinery, pumps and condensers and refrigerating machinery. Here is the turbine engine room. The condensers on the sides here, you have the turbine in the middle. Condensers were used to take the steam and turn it back into water. And then you have the electric engine rooms here in the stern, divided in two on Britannic as opposed to Olympic and Titanic by this watertight bulkhead. And then you have some shaft alleyways for the propeller shafts. Goes all the way out to the propeller here. And yeah, that is pretty much Britannic. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And you can download it for yourself, so you can check it out and explore. And again, it's probably not entirely accurate, but I did my best. I hope you like it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.